Yeah, I think everyone's just kind of playing with a lot more confidence and togetherness, and I think that you know, as we see our starters and our vets play with more energy, that just helps the rest of the team play with that same energy. And especially, home games, it's nice to be able to have that crowd to wrap around us, which helps us to not get too worried about being able to bounce back after like they go on a run or something like that. But being able to take down the road is going to be a big part in our success down the road. So.
Carson, I'm wondering if you can talk about this front court right now. You've got Jackson back and playing some, Book's playing some more in certain matchups. What kind of more options do you guys have now with those two back kind of playing a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel like it makes us a little more versatile at the 4-5 position, with those guys being able to score a little bit more than me and Marty. But obviously, the Big Ten is really physical, and it's tough to really play a certain amount of people. So being able to have a bunch of different guys that can defend different positions and play different positions and give defenses different more looks is going to be important down the stretch, especially for success too. So.
I was wondering if you got any feedback from the coaches on how you played defensively in the previous game. The timing of flashing as a help defender and getting back. Do you feel that's an area where you're reading things even better and better? Did you get feedback from coaches on that?
Yeah, as you know, like defense is what wins games, and for me, being able to move my feet and stay as versatile as I can is what's going to keep me on the floor. And ball screen coverage is definitely one of my main reasons that I stay out there. And I think that they did like that how I responded and being able to bounce back after some lower rebounding games and stuff like that, and be able to gather myself a couple blocks and stuff like that. Just ultimately helps how I'm playing and my confidence overall. So
the matchup with Garcia when you wind up on him from Minnesota, different kind of center and big man and some other guys. What sort of challenges does he present that you took away from that first matchup?
Yeah, as we know, he's scoring the ball. So for us, we know we're not going to hold him scoreless. So for us, it's just trying to make every shot just tough for him. And because we know we're going to win the game if they're taking tough shots, they're not going to beat us on tough shots. So being able to have like me, Malik, Marty, Jackson, Book all kind of rotate between Garcia and Payne a little bit is going to be big for that too. But just being able to make force them to make tough shots is what's going to win the game. So.
Coach was just mentioning a little earlier about the mental toughness of playing on the road. How is that something maybe you can work on in practice or just throughout the day, mental toughness?
Yeah, I think it's just responding to adversity. Even in practice, I think that we always have moments of adversity, and then obviously in games too. And for us, one of the big things is being able to put together 40 minutes. And on the road, that's a lot tougher than at home. So I think what helps is when we have a good start, and once we get to that second media timeouts, and all the team is excited and we're playing good and we're having fun out there. I think that's a big part in the road success too that we have. And I think that it's tough to win in the Big Ten, and to be successful in the Big Ten, you've got to win at probably at least half of your road games. So we know this is a really important game to hopefully get a good step in the second half of the season. So.
How do the preps change at this time of the year when I think you got the 5-game stretch here where it's second time playing a team? How much different is it in terms of this prep versus the first prep in Minnesota?
Yeah, I think it's definitely nice for the younger guys. Myself included, that we kind of have a good idea of how all these teams are playing. We've got film to kind of cover that, and we didn't play Minnesota too long ago, so we still got a good rough idea on how they work, and for that, it's just kind of focusing on what we did wrong in the game last time we played them, and being able to fix that, and just kind of cancel out those little mistakes that kind of made them kind of a closer game than it should have been last time we played them here. So.
Of course, there's always responsibility anytime you're playing a minute on a court for Michigan State at this level and so forth. There's always responsibility. Was there even greater responsibility when you're on the court for the final minutes of a game, a close game like you were this past game? And is that one of the first times you've closed out a game like that I can remember? Was that different for you, or did it just remain basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's I try not to think about it too much as like it's a higher pressure situation. I just kind of think of it as basketball, like you said. But I think once you're on there at the end of the game, you kind of do have a little bit more willpower to kind of reach down deep and tough out some stops and tough out your fatigue and just tough all that stuff out. And it's definitely nice to know that, you know, the coaches have trust in you late game, and being able to finish out the game is something, you know, I can be proud of. So.
Carson, you guys obviously got several weeks to go here, but I'm just wondering, sort of big picture, are you able to step back and just sort of evaluate your season to this point, where you feel like you've done well, where you've developed, where you still want to go, things like just sort of a overall look at this year for you?
Yeah, I mean, we started out rough. Like time is a rough, and for us, you know, I think we won the last 9 out of 11 or 9 out of 12 games or something like that. So being able to use that, kind of ball it all up, and then just take what we learned from each game and be able to use that to you know, to our advantage in the next game. But also knowing that, you know, we play all these teams twice and we know kind of what they're doing. But also, yeah, winning on the road has been a struggle for us. So that's something that we want to, you know, this next game kind of take that into consideration and start working towards. And I think that's what's going to help us in this Big Ten season for the rest of the season. So.
How about just from an individual perspective? I'm thinking back to last year. This is kind of around when you started playing a lot, like late January, early February. A year later, you're in a way different position.
Mm-hmm.
Just how has this year unfolded for you? Do you think personally?
Yeah, I think it's coming along for me too. You know, I just kind of take it day by day, game by game, and you know, I just try to learn from everything. Yeah, like you said, last year is kind of when I started to play good around here, but I don't really think about that too much. I'm just kind of going out there and playing my game every day, and you know, just trying to make each other better in practice every day too. So.
Anything else for Carson? Thanks, Coop.
Yeah, thanks.